Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. My name is Jesse Milestone, and today is Social Justice Wednesday. That's right. I'm going to practice what I preach, acceptance and representing all sides. So now, provided I can continue to stomach it, once a week on Wednesday, we will have Social Justice Wednesday, in which I try to get in the mind of a social justice warrior and champion and fight for their very important causes that matter a lot in the real world. So today, I think it's only fair that we extend our social justice-minded outrage beyond Batwoman. She's taking enough hate from all sides. But we're outraged because even though she's gay, she's not Jewish. Ruby Rose is not Jewish. And we're not even sure if they wrote the character Jewish like they did in the comic books, which is probably the worst thing to happen to Jews since the Holocaust. So if we're going to talk about that, though, well, because there's one more thing between the Holocaust and now that was probably as bad or worse than both of those things combined. And that is the casting of XMen. Come on! If we're going to be outraged that Ruby Rose is not Jewish, we should absolutely be outraged that neither Sir Ian McKellen nor Michael Fassbender are actual Jews or actual Holocaust survivors. They both play Magneto in X-Men, and that is quite frankly damn offensive. If you want to portray a Holocaust survivor, you must have someone who actually went through it. How could you possibly know? How could you, and that's like just being Jewish is not even enough. You need a real Holocaust survivor to play a Holocaust survivor. You can't tell me that an actor will just intuitively know that's how to do that. I mean, just like Brie Larson in Room. What an awful casting choice. We need to go find women who are actually sexually assaulted and force them to relive those examples whenever we make movies about this, because otherwise it's not true to life and it's not honoring the victims properly. So fuck you, X-Men, for not honoring the victims of the Holocaust by not using a real Holocaust victim and forcing them to confront those demons and turn into a massive supervillain. That's very, very inconsiderate of you. That's very rude. And I am, quite frankly, as a Jewish person, outraged that they managed to go so far as to cast a German to play young Magneto, but not a Jew. Well, he's only half German. Only one of Michael Fassbender's parents is German. So, outraged. Can you see the outrage? Can you see my hair turning blue? Outrage. And I'm not done, all right? I'm not done. I'm offended by so many more things in the X-Men casting choices, okay? Let's take a look at Professor X. Neither Sir Patrick Stewart nor James McAvoy are actually disabled. Neither of them need to be in a wheelchair, okay? So I just think it's really incredibly insensitive that they didn't go find a disabled person to be in a wheelchair. And you know what? When you're doing first class, so you have them still walking in some of this, what you needed to have done is go find twins, one of whom is disabled and one of whom is not, because it's realism, right? Because it's the closest thing you can get to doing it. You can't fix the disabled actor. If you could do that, you wouldn't be making movies. You'd probably be fixing crippled people. Or maybe you need to find an actor who's willing to go through a paralytic event at the end of the first film so that it's true to life, all right? None of this acting business, none of this portraying someone else's pain. No, you have to live the pain. Otherwise, what you're doing is oppressing people. So James McAvoy, when you walk and then you're in a wheelchair, you are double oppressing people who are disabled. I just want you to know. Sir Patrick Stewart, how could you? I thought you were a man of honor. You are oppressing the disabled by being in a wheelchair when you don't need to be. And don't even get me started on the baldness. At least Sir Patrick Stewart is legit bald. And I don't know if that was a choice because of early male pattern baldness, but we don't want to make fun of that, okay? We want to acknowledge men's feelings, and a lot of men are sensitive about early baldness and things like that, and that's very sad for them, all right? But the other issue here, is James McAvoy can perfectly well grow a beautiful full head of hair, and yet he shaves it as if he's lost it, which is mocking men who actually go bald. It's mocking cancer patients who've been through chemotherapy or radiation therapy, and it is mocking men with alopecia or women with alopecia, because women can have alopecia too. If you don't know what that is, it's an autoimmune disease that makes you lose all your hair. So you're mocking people with diseases now, as well as mocking disabled people. And I just think that that's not okay. And I don't know why we're not more outraged about this. This is almost as bad as casting non-Jews to play Magneto, which, as we've established, is worse than the Holocaust. So I'm frankly outraged. I'm sickened. I'm having a panic attack because I have PTSD from everything that a Jewish person has ever been through forever. All right? I'm having this now. I don't know. I'm keeping it together for you because you need to know my outrage, but I'm legit panicking. So we're going to move on to a slightly different but still related topic because I feel just as strongly about this. I know you're all like, well, Jesse, you're Jewish, so you're just championing the Jewish Jew. No, I care about everybody. I care about all the religions. Let's look at the movie The Covenant. Right? Now, I wonder why this movie wasn't as big as it was. Because it's offensive to freedom, to the concept of freedom of religion, and it's very offensive to women. So let me just get started here, right? The Covenant was a movie about 4 witches, the lead of which was played by Stephen Strait, and then they end up finding out that there was a 5th witch played by Sebastian Stan, and they're all descended from, Salem and witchcraft in Massachusetts, etc., etc. And if you can't already see why this is offensive, then I don't know if I can help. I don't know if I can talk to you anymore. Like, if you don't already intuitively understand why this is, like, really, really offensive to me, then, like, just don't talk to me because, like, you're literally Hitler. Like, you're literally Hitler if you don't understand this. So, anyway, I'm going to break it down for you just in case there's, like, some hope for you. Or if you're, like you kind of get it, but you don't know all the nuance. So I'm going to tell you, all right? Because here you go. First of all, Stephen Strait, Sebastian Stan, the other actors in that movie playing witches, not actual Satanists, didn't actually practice witchcraft or worship the devil. Same goes, by the way, while we're on the topic, for the people playing Satanists in Hereditary. I looked it up. Not a one of them is actually a Satanist. And I find that incredibly offensive because I believe that all religions, and you know what? It's not even my belief. It's in the Constitution. The Constitution promises freedom of religion to all. So why are we just sitting here oppressing the Satanists now just because they don't believe the things that we believe? I mean, that's just wrong. You're violating the core tenets of freedom of religion. Stephen Strait should convert to Satanism or apologize for this movie. Sebastian Stan must do the same. And, oh my God, haven't you gotten to the worst part? Because, like, I can barely talk about, like, this is hard for me to talk about because it's, like, really close and personal to me, okay? Because now we're talking about sexism, which is, like, a really hard issue because, like, this is a great example of how women are so oppressed today, right? This is a movie about male witches. Like, you want to talk about erasure? Ew. Witches were women. They were, like, mostly women. Maybe all women. Like, I don't really know, but I feel like they were all women because, like, my feelings, which are really much more important than history, says that they're all women. So all witches were women. There were no male witches. You cannot cite me on that. Because that would violate what I know to be true as a human being and what I know to be morally right. So if you have any evidence that says otherwise, you're just wrong and hateful and you're oppressing me. All right. So stop it with your misogyny because all witches were women. And so to not have any female witches in this movie is like really, really oppressive. You're just like trying to erase the contributions that women had to hexing their neighbors' cows. And that's just like not acceptable. It's really not acceptable. Do you not see how wrong this is? Like, this is pretty much the same as like cultures that don't let their women go. I mean, that's erasing women too, right? You can't go out. We can't see your face. We don't even know you're there. So we make little movies like The Covenant, which, you know what? People saw that. That had a cultural impact, like on me anyway. And so I'm the most important thing in the universe. So obviously this was a really culturally relevant film. So if I saw it and I was offended by it, you know that this movie hurt people. This hurt women. This probably set women's rights back like a decade. This is like worse than when women didn't have the right to vote because now you're just silencing us. Now you're like not even going to acknowledge that we exist, let alone saying we can't vote for things. And I'm just, I like literally can't even right now. I literally can't even. I'm just outraged. And I'm really confused as to why the other social justice warriors are not equally outraged about these things because they're just so obvious to me. You can connect the dots. Look, A goes to B to C to D, E, F, G, H, I. I don't even know the rest of the alphabet because I'm so mad right now. So obvious to me. Where are the other social justice warriors being outraged by these things? Stop spending your time being outraged by normal stuff that everyone else is outraged about. This is important too. We should all be talking about this. Hashtag Which Lives Matter. Hashtag I'm a woman. Hashtag Hear Me Roar. And that is what I want to say to you today. So It was really difficult for me to get in touch with my inner SJW. It was hard, it was scary, it was a dark place. I'm not looking forward to going back, but if you enjoyed this video, please let me know and press that like button, and we will bring back Social Justice Wednesdays to your heart's delight. That means that there will be many, many more meant to offend videos to balance it out, because dear God, there have to be. So if you enjoyed that, if you have any suggestions, comment section below, press that like button, because we're done respecting it. And click on all the links that are popping up if they haven't already. You can get a Jessie Shot First t-shirt designed by Anna, that Star Wars girl. It's an amazing design, and you know you want one. You also should subscribe to LA Cheesesteak Reviews. We are getting ready to release our promo. It's gonna be really exciting, so you don't want to miss that. And then get involved with me. We'll tell you everything else you need to know about my Patreon, my social media, t-shirt links, ways to get in touch with me. You can find me on Twitter at Jessie Milestone. You can find me on on Instagram at Mindless Entertainment. And you guys are all the best. Thank you so much for your support. God Empress out.